and then played around that and executed it beautifully. As we can see, the bans coming through almost identical yet again. That is identical. It means that the Rise is going to be going over to Porky this time, though, and the Direwolves now get the option of picking away either Lucian or going for something completely different.
Yeah, I would like to see Jish pick up the Nami again, but maybe not now. Wouldn't want to see the Janna go through nice and early. I think Lucian is a good pickup, although Chuff has just shown that he is so comfortable on Tristana, and I would... Direwolves play to their comfort picks, and you would hate for the final game of this set to go to where they start trying to do things differently. I think they should just stick to what they are comfortable with. It does look like that is the Nami. Porky on Rise. That is a great pick up for Porky, who is a very solid top laner, and a great pick away from Perfection, who played it so well. Looks like they will be locking in that Tristana Rise combo, though.
Oh, would have been very, very exciting to see that Singe come through. But they are looking at making sure that they pick up that Tristana for the third game in a row. And as we saw, Chuffer proved that he's more than happy to play that into this team. But Gangplank going to be hovered yet again. I think this might be a thing. But probably not going to be locked in. We'll see what Avant Garde want to do to sort of round out their comp here, because they could do something very similar to what the Direwolves did in the last game. Pick up that Zed, make sure they have that really nice amount of mixed damage on their side. And we've seen Kensty's Zed. That guy is so good at that champion.
Yeah, and Yuzora actually looking at Jarvan this time around. Didn't like the Elise. So looking to be able to be that really brawly CC heavy jungle as opposed, and wow, I love the Thresh pickup. Nada trying his third support in 3 games. Alistair, fantastic. Janna played a solid game, it was 007 at one point. However, wasn't able to have the impact he would like, and going back to a playmaking support, that's a good pickup.
Yeah, 007 sort of ironically being licensed to kill without any kills. Are going to be over. Sharp and Chuff are now able to pick up their champions, and I think that it is fantastic having Nada on Thresh just because you have so much playmaking potential. So if they go for something where they want to switch around these lanes, Nada can capitalize on that by picking off this person that is left alone. Sharp hovering over the Jace is going to lock that one in. A different pickup here in the mid lane, but we've been seeing it rise to popularity quite a lot.
We certainly have, and the Nocturne's been locked in once again. I spoke about how important that long-range initiation was, so great for that to go through. We have to mention that we don't know if Perfection is comfortable taking a Jace into the top lane. As we see the Vayne potentially coming through, that will be a scary pickup. Cog being hovered.
Veritas seems to be the one just saying, yep, want to be playing me some Cogmore. And Kensty's still yet to make his decision thus far, but Cogmore is able to go toe-to-toe with the hyperscale potential of a Tristana, but sort of a little while back did cop a few nerfs as far as movement speed is concerned. Very vulnerable. You have to protect this Cogmore so much, but who is better for that than Nada? This guy is like the nanny of the bottom lane. He just keeps you safe in your arms.
That is a brave pickup. When you have a Nocturne on the team, picking a Cogmore is very, very dangerous.
And it is very AP heavy as well on the side of Avant Garde. There's magic resist is almost all you're going to need against these guys, because of course Cogmore does, very similar to Corki, a lot of that magic damage, and with Ryze and Ahri, may not necessarily have the mix that you could necessarily need, just because now Perfection can choose whatever the heck he wants, and we know this guy can play whatever. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he certainly can. Ahri into that Jace, looking for some picks in the mid game. They do have a lot of nice CC potential. If they bring Ryze down, can Rune Prism up, make sure that that Death Sentence and Charm come through, and they can absolutely explode one person. It's just, once again, in the team fight where Direwolves seem to like to brawl, they've got a very good composition of poking people down with the Jace and then just diving in super heavy. And that will be a top lane Jace or a top lane Zed.
I am so happy. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I mean, the Kassadin would have been great, but I love seeing the respect bands coming through for Perfections. It has been said, and I don't want to say who, but I've heard on the grapevine, Perfections is arguably as good or better than Choo Choo's on Zed in the Oceanic region.
Well, he's playing Jace, so that doesn't really matter.
Oh, right. Well, Sharp's pretty good too. Damn it. They could last minute swap. please?
That will be the way it goes through. So Sharp looking to pick up his Z again. Had a nice game. That means that the counter pick isn't in Kensty's favor either. Obviously thought that would be a mid lane Jace.
Yeah.
So going with something he was comfortable in and giving Sharp the last pick. Perfection will also be able to do quite well against Rise for the first 3 levels. Of course, Jace, arguably the best level 1 in the game.
Yeah.
With the fact that he has 2 abilities available to him, especially if he takes that Q.
Theoretically 3 almost.
With the change in hammer stance?
Yeah, you can change your hammer, but it does augment your other things.
Certainly does. So, yeah, nice top lane pickup, but a very squishy lineup with the exception of Rippy, who we saw goes to the Elder Lizard and then almost exclusively tank.
Yeah, and him picking up that Locket of the Iron Solari early was so smart as well, especially because all of the Direwolves wanted to be diving in on these fights, all get amongst it. That shield, really useful because there was so much AoE damage going around. It was perfect, especially the aura. And having that, you could almost put that on both of their tanky members if they're going to have any, and make sure they don't die because, of course, you can get double auras if you both have the item.
Yeah. All right, so we talked about the heavy AP damage coming through on Avant and how that might have been a mistake. On the side of Direwolves, they have no AP damage whatsoever.
Yeah.
They have a Jace, they have a Zed, they have a Tristana. Very low AP damage, very attack damage heavy comp. So meaning if they get to turrets, they will tear them apart. But if Rise picks up a Frozen Heart and then a Randuin's and goes damage from there, will be nearly unstoppable in this game. As well as the fact that Yuzora can just go so tanky, weave a Thornmail into his build. This is going to be a time bomb on Direwolves to be able to, at roughly the 28-minute mark before there's 3 items coming through, really take over this game. Otherwise, the amount of pure armor scaling that can come out of AV might be too much.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. We are, of course, onto the Rift, though, guys, for Game 3 between Avant Garde and Direwolves. Avant Garde back on the blue side where they did manage to win their first matchup, but the Direwolves now going for some sneaky strategies, working their way into this bottom side of the map. That being said, Avant Garde as far away as possible at this stage of the game.
Yeah, both teams look like they are looking for a lane swap. Nice ward going over the wall from Direwolves. Looks like this rush might be warded to see if they're at their red by Perfection.
Sticking his face into that golem wall. Liked it.
So maybe the lane swap coming through once again. Yuzora still top side of the map, looking to pick up the enemy red laner. Although Direwolves now rotating back, so once again, potential for a 3 buff here if the read comes through incorrectly from Direwolves.
Yeah, we do, of course, have Yuzora always happy to go the aggressive route in this jungle, even if it is the ace match in this series. Of course, only one team going to be heading through to the grand final tomorrow. Everything on the line right here, and the Direwolves must be so that they feel like it's in their grasp at this stage. Sort of thought that, you know, this is Avant Garde. They've arguably looked the best out of a lot of the teams that are even in this competition, but after that last victory, you have to say that they are hungry for this win now.
Yeah, and the only point we didn't match up on is the fact that Jish and Perfection can really go back to that 2v2 style again, because Jace is like a quasi AD carry in the fact that he does have a range form as well. However, it looks like Veritas has found Chuffer in this top lane. So depending on whether they go up there with Nada as well, there is a potential for the 2v1 lane to be in top, just with the AD carry on the other side, however.
Yeah, a little bit interesting
Is sending Jish up there as well. So it will be standard lanes, just upside down. We are, of course, in the Oceanic region, so...
Yeah, so it is just standard lanes. Of course, Sharp forced to use potion a little bit early. Getting hit by these orbs of deception. Kensti able to land those. It's a nice shuriken. Gonna hit him for a little bit of extra poke, but not gonna be having too much trouble here, as we do see Avant Garde getting exactly what they want. Another 2v2 situation. We know that they excel in this one. But, I mean, we haven't seen very many Cogmores just recently. Let's throw that Void Ooze out just a little bit, try and get some slows down, a little bit of extra damage. Of course, Cogmore's spells went a fair bit early on, as well as Tristana's.
Yeah, and of course, as soon as able to pick up that chain, does a lot of
nice
damage.
Double play. There's the exhaust going down immediately on a Truffer. He is going to be able to use that rocket jump to get himself to safety. Nada lands the death sentence, though. Of course he does. Veritas free to use so much damage. The flash into the play. Truffer, there's the flash. Void Ooze auto attack. First blood for Veritas. That flash for Jish. The heal bait, though. Jish unable to secure that kill, and this is what we were talking about. That was so perfect.
And this
from
is why
Avant
they
Garde.
went looking for the 2v2 lane. That is so important. Cogmore picking up first blood. All that CS will now crash into the turret. Not going to be able to be frozen. And wow, Perfection now being honed in on in this bottom lane. Yuzora looking for his first gank of the game, and looks like he's got it.
Yeah, there's the Rune Prison coming through. Perfection's now at half health. Yuzora with double buffs here. He can just walk in. Nice punt away by Perfection. Flashing at exactly the right time as well. This guy is brilliant. He was pushed up so far. Did have to use his flash though.
Yeah, able to get out of the gank, but that's just going to be a repeat now for Yuzora in that bottom lane. Was building himself up a nice CS lead, and this is a problem with giving up an early kill in the top lane. As Yuzora, you are now just free to concentrate anywhere else on the map because that lane will naturally snowball itself with such an aggressive player like Veritas, as well as Nada now on Thresh.
Yeah, you can see there's a gigantic wave in the mid lane for Kensty to farm as well, so he's going to definitely catch back up to Sharp, who does pick himself up a cannon creep. Charm is going to secure that CS, not miss. Okay, secure the CS. This mid lane looking a little bit tentative on both sides here. Sharp getting the respect that he deserves for his Zed.
Yeah, definitely looks like Kensty wants the wave to push into him, try and open Yuzora up.
Oh
wow.
my goodness, the double shuriken for so much damage onto Kensty. Orbit Deception going to just nick him on the way back through.
Kensty able to clean up a lot of the CS, so will keep his lead by 1.
Not bad at all. Nothing to write home about, though. Chuffer has found his way back into this lane. Death Sentence going to land onto Jish once more. Both of these support players a little bit lower. Oh my gosh, every play seems to be a double. It's going to be the Aqua Prison not landing, forcing out yet another rocket jump. Chuffer has no business being in this lane now.
Yeah, Chuffer looks like he wants the lane swap back. Not enjoying his time against Nada at all on this Thresh, who, as you said, is just hitting double skill shot all the time, landing all of his death sentences as well.
In this mid lane, very, very even, but it's all about this AD carry support combination this game, because if Veritas gets going, we know exactly what happens, and we know what happens if he gets kept down as well. Oh, nice walk out of the way of the charm there from Sharp. Takes a lot of damage. There's the flash over as well. He wants to get a return, but it's not going to happen. Maybe a little bit over-aggressive there by the mid laner of the
No,
Dire
he had the
Wolves.
death mark up, and it just didn't go off onto the jungler. Otherwise, he might have actually been able to return the kill there. Tried to go for the play. It was fractions of a second too late.
Oh my goodness. Didn't even see it go off. Very, very unfortunate there by Sharp. Would have definitely been able to pick up that kill had it been the case. Does have his Bilgewater Cutlass now as well as that Vision Ward, so making sure that they do get their mid-game vision down, which they've been very, very good at, actually, this entire series.
So Yuzora, once again, maybe being a little bit more active than Rippy in this early game. Rippy, of course, trying to farm to that level 6, have that high impact gank that he would like, but already a massive gold lead starting to come through on the side of AV, and this Cogmore, 45 to 22 CS, nearly doubling the gold of his opponent.
Oh, Porky actually going for a potential gank here in the mid lane. They know that they need to shut Sharp down. Make sure that he is not
and
the
now the dive
step.
is coming through.
Descent's going to land onto Jish. He might be going down yet again. An amazing play once more, but I'm getting bored in saying it, to be honest, because every single one Nada's done has been amazing. The rocket jump to safety. Teleport coming through from Perfections. Does get a shock blast to clear out all of these creeps. That's going to save his AD carry's life as Chuffer tries desperately to teleport home. They may just do exactly the same thing yet again, though, on Perfections.
Yeah, this could be a repeat with Nada still sticking around, and of course, Yuzora still there. Chuffer is so low, but doesn't want to give up any experience or CS.
Oh, God.
Wow.
One more ultimate. That Living Artillery will be able to finish that kill. But no, the rocket jump once again off cooldown. Veritas causing Chuffer to go home yet again. 27 to 55. He's making Cogmore look like the best AD in the game.
Yeah,
Why hasn't he been picked?
He's certainly playing it very well. It looks like they are trying to get Chuffer into this bottom lane now with Perfection sticking around top. However, hasn't yet been able to get through there, and Yuzora now counter jungling, sees that Rippy is in the bottom lane, looking to move this one over onto Kensty. So nice work there. No, might actually just pick it up himself. He does.
Yeah, didn't have his smite up either. Kensty just going to pick up their own, which is, of course, up over on the other side of the map. Sharp has been pinged out here. Yuzoro going for a potential gank here in this mid lane, but I don't think Sharp is going to be too aggressive. He is moving up, though. And no. Yuzoro just going to pick up his red buff, his blue buff, getting pinged. I think that's just Kensti desperately pinging that one out, saying, you took the other blue buff, give me one. Maybe not in that whiny voice, though.
I don't think so. As we can see, the lane swap has come back through as well, so the whole way AV matching Chuffer's movements around the map. Double the CS still, and Chuffer's gone for the... I'm not going to call it the greedy build, but the gold generation build. Looking to get as much gold as possible.
Accepted theoretical defeat in lane build, where you just now want to stay the hell away.
And a little bit later this time for Dragon, and wow, going so low. Yuzora's in trouble. If they knew this was going on, they would definitely get in there for a bit of a fight. Rippy has got his ultimate available, but able to pick that one up. That's out to a 3,000 gold lead now. Good read just of where the pressure was on the map. Once again, teleport advantage in their side, so very confident with that. And Rippy, he really needs to get involved right now. If he doesn't get a gank off soon, this game could snowball out of control.
Yeah, it could be very, very dangerous here for the Direwolves. Now 3-0 in favor of Avant Garde, with almost a 3,000 gold lead at the 10-minute mark. So this is looking a lot more like the first game as opposed to the second game.
And this is a very obvious gank, and I don't even know if they have the tools to be able to pull it off at this stage. Jish, of course, not level 5, and look at the poke damage that can come through.
Oh, Sharp. Kensti taking so much damage. The Ignite, though, not going to be enough, as the Deathmark had come through. Spirit Rush on cooldown as well, and I think Sharp feeling like he has the run of this lane at this stage. He may be the saving grace for the Direwolves this game. Of course, his power spike and perfections is going to come in at relatively similar times this game, so that could be when the Direwolves really want to pressure this one. Not as all-in the late game, this matchup, as they were in the first game.
Yeah, perfection is, I think, the key to victory here once again. He's ahead, 25 CS on this Jace. Looks like he's farming up nicely, but at the same time, DFG nearly finished on Ari. She's going to be pumping out a lot of mid-game damage, looking for those picks. Rippy not being... Wow, Jish is...
Box just not landing the slow. That would have definitely been the death of Jish. Rippy getting taken down so low. Look at that, the flash being forced. Is it going to be enough? It is! The red buff and the Elder Lizard at the same time. Yuzoro picks up that kill after the Cataclysm. And he's just letting Rippy know that he doesn't have a jungle anymore.
Yeah, certainly is starting to take that one over. Rippy still not being... Wow!
Jish getting played back then yet again. It's a nice Aqua Prison to save them, but look at the forced ultimates out of Jish. He's so scared in this lane. This little mermaid, a little bit upset. Perfection's now getting taken down so low. The flash forward from Yuzoro for the auto attack. And Porky gonna flash in for that one as well, getting the last Q.
Action isn't done, Kensti. Doesn't have, will be able to push so much pressure into this bottom lane. This is where they need to fight. Sharp has rotated over. Rippy's in range. If they're going to turn this game around, it has to be now.
There's the paranoia coming through here as well. Sharp has managed to find himself amongst it. Wants to look for a target, but the Spirit Rush is there as well. Look at the Lantern really allowing them to do the work. The Deathmark coming in. Veritas, you're definitely going to die. Chopper getting some extra damage on that one. He's going to get the reset here. No, he's actually not. Didn't get the kill. Chopper forced to run around. The double kill for Porky, though, coming in with that teleport. The triple now. Perfection's finally here. Nada flashing at exactly the right time. There's the shock blast. Kensti getting taken down low. Lands the charm. That's another kill. Perfections flips on top of his face. Secures that kill. What a ridiculous engage.
And meanwhile in the top lane, Yuzoro just taking down a turret for his trouble. Doesn't have enough mana to flag and drag over the wall, but does want the red buff for his trouble.
That was for vision.
Both top laners coming down and having a huge impact in that fight. Porky 4-1-0 now.
Oh,
he just became a monster in this mid game. Looks like Rippy will be able to... Ooh.
Nice smite. Actually, Rippy not wanting to pick that fight as well. Of course, Paranoia wasn't off cooldown, so probably didn't feel like he could close the distance as effectively and didn't have the vision control around this map that they did last time at this stage of the game.
Yeah, maybe not quite catching a good enough look at the mana bar. Nada, wow, another death sentence. This one just missed, but Porky's still going.
It was an excellent zoning Aqua Prison as well, meant that he couldn't be chased down. Jish very comfortable on this fish.
And yeah, you have to say that if this game is going to start being swung back in the favor, they need to get some farm onto Chuffa. They've sent him top lane. Dragon is in 2 minutes. Look for them to not go anywhere near that one. That would be suicide. It is a 5,000 gold deficit at only 14 minutes in. However, Jace is starting to ramp up into his area. You can see the poke damage that can come through already.
Does have the Manamune. Nice Aqua Prism, but it's going to be all the members of AV coming through. There's the Shroud of Darkness, the Cataclysm. That's going to finish him off. Going to take the Lantern just to pick up this blue buff as well. And Kensti says, all right, no, he doesn't. It's actually going to be Yuzora. Yuzora wants all of the blue buffs this game, apparently.
Well, he is so huge. 2-0-6, has a Giant's belt as well as that Elder Lizard and his boots too. And why not when you are this massive level 10?
Oh, Veritas is getting aggressed on here. Nice death mark. Is Sharp going to be able to pick this one around? No, not enough damage. That is, of course, what was that? Did he have... What was used? There's no Mikhails.
No, he just didn't have any abilities after he used the death mark, so it didn't come through for that much damage in the end.
I thought I saw a little circle thing. I think I'm losing my mind. Outer turret in the mid lane is going to fall down as Sharp is spending some time in the death chamber, and Avant Garde looking so strong.
Yeah, so they've now extended to nearly 7,000 gold in the lead just because of a little bit of mismanagement of objectives. Direwolves needed to not fight anything at that point in the game and just try and stall under turrets. They do have reasonable wave clear at this point. Of course, Zed does a nice job clearing it out with his Shadow, as well as Perfection. So Chuffa, once again, just trying to get as much CS as possible. Trinity Force now picked up for Veritas. He's going to be lending so much damage to these fights with both poke and then just that W being able to shred through people. Perfection, 134 CS. He's still going strong, but the pieces around him seem to be tumbling down.
Yeah, it's very true. But, I mean, Jace is almost next to useless if you don't hit your Mura Mana Power Spike at the right times, and he is on the way to do that. So he can augment his team in that way effectively regardless. Yuzora now going to start off this Dragon yet again, as it has just come back up. It's only going to be the second one, but second one for AV, only going to be extending that lead even further.
But nice call to just not contest that whatsoever. Send Sharp into the top lane, pick up some CS for himself, be able to push that one out, hopefully even get a turret, although they have to be careful that they don't give up anything in this mid lane as well. Porky just running straight at Chuffa on this Tristana. 50 CS behind still, having an extremely rough game.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. Jish, oh, the thread, the needle! Jish was there for a second, now he's not. Paranoia gets popped, but that is not going to be followed up on. Intelligent decision from Rippy, but I don't think... Did Jish even have a health bar at the beginning of that?
And sure. Nada building another very convincing case for MVP in this game, landing hook after hook, winning the lane for his team members. This guy's an absolute monster on support. He's showing that he can play next to everything as well. Oh, death sentence just missing this time around.
That was combing Chuffa's hair a little bit, I think.
They've moved into the mid lane, looking to siege this one up as well. Of course, wave clear pretty good coming out of Sharp at this point, but Porky, wow, they've got in for it.
Yeah, Rippy goes down so low. Look at that, the death mark coming in, but I think the Sharp may have overextended. It's a nice exhaust as well. Veritas getting taken down low, but you can see that's not what we should be talking about. Avant Garde ripping the Direwolves apart. A triple kill for Porky yet again. This guy shouldn't get Rise.
7-1-1. Porky absolutely taking the game over. They fought without perfection. The most fed member of their team not there. Get dove upon by Yuzora, and wow, 2-0-12.
And their health bar management as well. Like, they've made sure that they kept everything going, and exactly right. It's Yuzora. This guy's starting every fight the way that they want on the side of Avant Garde.
Yeah, and it looks like we will be able to take another look at exactly what happened with Yuzora coming out of the fog of war to just get on top of Rippy and get everything started. Unfortunately, perfection not there. Sharp gets a beautiful exhaust out there, unable to get away, and Veritas just pumping out so much damage, as well as Porky, the consistent damage. But another double knock-up out of Yuzora. He's having a fantastic game. Desperation Baron being started up, but it's been spotted out in Sharp. Wow, nearly dying.
Yeah, taking loads of damage from that one. A nice scrying orb being used by Veritas just to thwart the Direwolves' plans of Baron. And this gold lead, 13,000 at 18.5 minutes. Looking very, very dire for the Direwolves.
It certainly is. And Kensty picked up his DFG. Looks like he's going for Azonia's next, although has also picked
Could
up
just build another DFG.
a Brilliance Potion. No, he won't. As Rippy once again being caught out in the jungle. Fails the flash.
Oh dear. Probably wouldn't have survived anyway, of course. Spirit Rush, pretty handy for getting across walls as well, so it doesn't need to feel too bad about that fail flash, but Rippy not having the game that he had last time. Very, very squishy on this Nocturne this time around.
Yeah, and it's just because Yuzora was able to get so much done between the levels 1 and 5 when Rippy wasn't willing to game that it really set his team up. He's gone in once again.
Yeah, Chopper getting Cataclysm. Veritas lands the last kill. It's a decent wave, but Sharp finds himself in the back line with nowhere to go. Veritas's auto attacks are ridiculous. Of course, has that Hurricane, a very standard item for AD carries these days. Rune Prison coming down as well. Jish is going to fall. Porky is a monster. Ninja Tabi and that Frozen Heart have been completed. And this could be the game right here and now. Rippy finds himself without a team and does Paranoia into the back. But it's not even going to be Kensty falling down. Does have a flashing bar. And Chopper is going to be the next member. Veritas getting down very low. He's going to fall to the turret.
Yeah. He didn't sound like he was having much fun. Wow, Chopper getting exploded. Able to pick up a kill, although that looks like it will be game on the side of AV. So games 1 and 3 in convincing fashion. Little bit of a hiccup in the middle, but they will be going through to the final.
Yeah. Congratulations to Avant Garde. Through to our grand final tomorrow. That best of 5 series is going to be ridiculous when this bottom lane of Avant Garde is put to the test. And the rest of them, of course, as well. I mean, Kensty's showing up huge. The fact that he has such a broader champion pool that we otherwise would have thought, of course, only playing Twisted Fate and Zed, sort of maybe not playing as many that you would have otherwise thought, but now Yasuo, Lissandra, and that Ahri as well. Happy to play all of these assassin-based heroes and able to really control these team fights very effectively. But you have to say, Yuzora on that Jarvan, why wasn't he playing that before?
Yeah, Jarvan's such a good early game jungle. I just value him so highly for his ability to burn summoner spells early and then revisit lanes, and that is exactly what he did. Was in the mind of the mid and bottom lane, which was, of course, the top lane because of the swap. And then just 2v2, Nada, Veritas able to win their lane consistently, all those flays coming through, and Nada's heat-seeking death sentences.
He threads the needle on almost every one of those, and in the early game, I think for the first 6 minutes, he only landed double flays on the members of the Direwolves. He played out of his mind. If he got a back-to-back MVP, I would not be surprised.
He certainly did step up, and really special mention to the Yuzora. I think he was my MVP for that last game.
Oh, yeah.
He came up absolutely huge, was able to get to the point where he was that tanky that once again, just able to dive turrets at will and really set Porky up, as well as Veritas, to carry that game.
Yep. That being said, I really hope that the Direwolves stay around. If this is a team that's only had limited time to practice with this lineup, Perfections looked fantastic, well deserving of that MVP, and I think it was something to do with the fact that they didn't have quite the bottom lane synergy yet in order to make this one work, but I hope they stay together as a team, keep playing, and we see them next year or next event. I think it'll be really, really great.